In the words of the late George Carlin, BS is the glue that binds us together as a nation. Here comes a ton of it. It's time for BSN with Big Nate.
We say we make our show, we fall on our knees. It's you to be the one that would set us free. Trampled at your feet. Now we're dancing, floating those days. Wash away that sin. Take off your robes. It's not the war. The children of those who complain. You heard us cry. Now hear us roar. Keep us inside of this cage. And when you fall, I turn to us the past of air. What's the rest now? The new age becomes this is our modern testament. The horns are blown, the battle's won. It won't give in until it's done. Tonight's the night, no hero. You'll be the kings of Monaco. You are the lion. The words I said. We are the fire. Fire. We'll conquer and win. Take off your robes. It's not the war. We are the children of those who complain. You heard us cry. Now hear us roar. You have hid me inside of this cage. And when you fall, I turn to us the past of air. What's the rest now? The new age becomes this is our modern testament. Down, down, fight with We are the ones who decimate. We are the bastards of your food. We are the innocents you slay. We are the leaders of the lazy. Taking yours, taking souls, lighting fires in this world so cold. Take up your road, it's not the war. Children of those who complain. You heard us cry.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back into BSing with Big Nate on this lovely Friday evening, afternoon. Bear with me as we make sure we're all live and ready to rock here. You see, something new came to BS with Big Nate. It's actually why we're on hiatus. Before we go any further, I'll let you know we actually are 100% live. Joined tonight by Dying Oath out of Virginia. Yeah, that's right. I am joined this evening. How are we doing?
You're awesome, man.
All right. So firstly, I want to say this is a packed show. This is the most people I've crammed into one episode of BS with Big Nate. So we're gonna go through this. It's gonna be real easy to recognize Mindy because Mindy is all by her lonesome and her name is on the screen. But over here with Josh, we've got the rest of the band. So I want you all to go ahead and first and foremost, raise your hands, name, role in the band, and hi.
Josh.
Jacob.
Matt. Yeah.
Ryan. Jeb.
Yeah, that was fun.
And Mindy should go ahead and introduce herself as well.
I'm Mindy, and I'm the screamer.
Yay!
You do a fantastic job of it. That was Modern Testament that we just came out of, that we just heard. And I want to start off like this. What are your guys' feeling on that track?
I love that track.
Absolutely.
I do. That's my favorite one so far. We guys think.
I mean, it was the first one that I
it was first
completed and worked on.
Yeah.
So that's real special to the heart.
Yeah.
It's the one that definitely made me realize I wasn't good.
It's a cool track, man. I mean, if you really sit down and listen to the lyrics and figure it out, man, I think it can really apply to a lot of shit going on today, too.
I think it's very empowering, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you can't help. I was getting things set up as it was playing, and it makes you move. Like, I'm sure, like, because there's still a little thumbnail of me popping up in the live video, and I'm sure people saw me bobbing and kind of rocking out. But no, I definitely see your point with the empowering. What was the process on putting that track together? Like, how do you guys lay that down? Do you all kind of just get together and jam and see what gels, or like, what's the process?
That one was written before we were all actually together. There's several of the tracks that are that way. I typically just sit around. I've got a home studio. I'll just mess around and write some instrumental tracks, and if it's decent, I'll mix it down, send it to the band, see if they like it. We'll see if we can't tweak a little bit of it. Get Jacob to add his touch to it. Get Jeb and Minnie to put some vocals to it. We're hoping for some of the newer tracks coming up that we can all really, apply some input. But for that one, I did the music and Jeb and Mindy with the lyrics.
And I want to talk about another thing. You guys actually, back in July, released a video as well for your track Insomniac. Let's talk about that a little bit. What was the experience there?
Challenging.
Yeah.
It was challenging, man. That was like right when COVID was really becoming serious. And the guy we were working with, he was so freaked out about doing it because you couldn't have more than 10 people in a room. And, we had these ideas that we wanted to do, as far as, maybe like a story to it, some kind of,
Concept art.
like concept for it. But, considering we couldn't have very many people actually working on it at one time, we just decided we was going to do just a performance video. Yeah, I ain't been up long.
You need to take a nap.
I've been hard at it today, man. Sending EPKs and trying to prepare for this, sending stems to the producers. Oh, man, I'm tapped out. Yeah, it was challenging.
Where was it put together at? Were you guys actually, because I mean, it's a pretty sterile environment. Like, it looks almost as if you're like in a doctor's office.
We're actually above a recording studio out in Bristol.
There's a lot of cool stuff going on in that video, and I think it's a fine piece of art. I think you guys have put together something great here, but I want to talk about what you've put together here. How did Dying Oath come to be?
Oh, man.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, there's a long story behind all of that. I mean, me and you and one other guy, we were jamming back in, I think, 2014? Something like that? Yeah, 2014, me and Ryan. and some other guy. We were just, kids jamming, loved like old school metalcore. We were raised back in what I like to call the golden age of metalcore. So, we were really influenced by all that. And we wanted to try to write our own. So we got together and was jamming a little bit. Nothing ever really came of it. We all had jobs and all this, other stuff kind of pulling us away, girlfriends, when you're, 21, 22 years old, it's like, whatever. We got together about 4 years later, just out of the blue, man. I had heard the song. I really wanted to learn to play it. I picked the guitar up after like 2 years. And I got in contact with Brian and we started jamming again. He was actually playing drums at the time. We started jamming again and, we was really feeling it this time, man. Was just really passionate about the music we were coming up with. And we decided we was going to try to do something else with it. So, tryouts after tryout after tryout, trying to find people that, the golden unicorn that doesn't do drugs, has a job, has a vehicle, has their own gear, is passionate about it. There's so many different things that really have to come into play in order to, be able to focus the time and attention necessary. We finally did that, man. We brought Jacob in, play drums, moved Brian over to guitar after we kicked the other dude out. Then we brought Jeb in. He started writing a little bit. We fell in love with what he was writing. He's I can't say enough good things about the crap he writes, man. I love it. I mean, really, I ain't trying to kiss the idea. Like Modern Testament's lyrics, man. I mean, it's unreal. And after that, we really needed somebody to really fill in the hardcore, sound, because Jeb can't scream. I'm sorry. You got your ups and you got your downs. Okay, there's your down. He can't scream at all. So
You get a really long checklist, and you checked most of them, but you can't scream.
You can't scream. Yeah. We'll bring you in, but we're gonna have a second vocalist come in and fill those parts in. So we brought Mindy in, man. She's always had a reputation of being one of the best freaking screamers in the area. She's absolutely phenomenal. I've followed some of her other bands. I mean, she does incredible work, and she's really progressed even more since she joined it with us. Inspiring.
Absolutely.
But brought her in, and still need a bass player. We had another bass player, but dude was having girl problems, some typical band crap. And we got rid of him, and then Matt, he was already playing with Mindy in another band. So he ended up joining up with us to, try out, play along, all that good stuff. And it ended up working out pretty well, man. He really, got to the grind and got to the level he really needed to be at.
And now we're one giant happy family.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Yay. There it is, man. There's the story of Diane.
I like it. I mean, I can't wait for the movie rights.
And it's cool, man, because I mean, we started out, we had no intention of really like playing shows, putting out a CD, anything like that. We really wanted to get people together that wanted to have a good time, play music that we all enjoy, just have a good time on the weekends, man. And we released like a roof version of Modern Testament and Watch the World Burn.
Yeah.
And it got such good reviews, man, that we was just like, screw it. Our Facebook started blowing up. We started, meeting and talking to people that really wanted to promote us. It's like, well, let's get a hold of a producer and, actually do this. Let's, get it professionally done and put something out. And we've got 2 out so far.
So I want to take a step aside for a moment and talk about the way that Jeb and Mindy, I mean, I guess harmonize is probably the word we're looking for, but that's not necessarily exactly what's happening here. There's like a call and repeat, and it's just, it goes together so well that I want to know, like, how was there, like, having to find that chemistry more so than like the rest of the band, or how does that build? How does that?
I wouldn't want to say that like it's more than the rest of them. We're all close with each other in different ways. But me and Mindy, personally, I believe we blend together because we're trying to tell, the same story, trying to bring the same passion and emotion. And she's real good at reading my mind, like fantastic at it. And we just kind of click on all sorts of levels about it. And, we're like, hey, let's change the fucking world with our music. And here we are,
Yeah, pretty much. I think that we have such a bond off the stage that it really helps us on the stage, because we really do interact so well together on and off the stage. We can it's like you said, we read each other's minds. It's like I already know what he's going to do before he does it, and so it's really easy for us to interact with each other, I guess.
And so we've learned that Jeb can't scream. I've got to ask if vice versa is true. Mindy, can you do clean vocals?
I'm actually classically trained, and I've been doing clean vocals since I was about 3 years old. So I've only really ever done a lot of cleans until about 5 years ago, and then I started honing in on that. And then when I met these guys, they really just kind of helped me take it to the next level. Josh is a hell of a pusher.
So I mean,
Yeah.
you're classically trained, and I know, I mean, I don't know how, I'm a terrible singer, so I mean, we're not even gonna get started on that, but I know that for the longest time, and I don't know if this stigma still exists, but with screaming, it's basically this, you shouldn't do that, you're gonna thrash your pipes, as it were. Do you find that to be the case, or like is it easy for you to, if you wanted to transfer back and forth?
I think I go back and forth pretty well because I have so much training with clean vocals. Now that I've learned different parts of my voice with screaming, it's very easy to do it fluently. And I think that if you do it the correct way, then you really don't have anything to worry about.
Gotcha. So today it was announced on the Dying Oath Facebook page that y'all won a battle of the bands. Do we want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, hell yeah! I'm so fucking excited about that. Oops.
Yeah, it's the Metal Lab is a group that has helped us out a lot along the way. Tom, that runs the group, has really been interactive with us, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna put you on the Battle of the Bands," and so we were like, "All right, what the hell? We'll try it."
I mean, that's not a bad way to have your Friday go. How do you find out you won something like that? Like, are you just tagged on Facebook, or was one of you emailed?
Shit, we followed it all week.
Yeah.
We got tagged in the beginning of the week. We was all like, "Oh shit," I was personally guilty of constantly popping back and forth just to see who else had voted. It's like, all right, cool, dying. Oh no, old pagan. I'm like, whoa, hold up, guys.
We gotta share it again.
Share this shit out now. Look at the band chat that's going on.
So let's talk about what else you guys have going on. I mean, you guys are real active on social media, which, I mean, given the way 2020 is gone, you kind of, what else can you do? So I love that, like, in the leading up, I've been talking to you guys for a couple of weeks and just trying to get ready for this. And it's like just trying to get material together. And it's like, oh, hell, there's too damn much. We'll let them tell their story. But something I have noticed is that when you guys are posting stuff, there's a lot of endorsements. And how does a band out of Southwestern Virginia go about, like, are you sought out, or, and also let's talk about some of those. I'm sure they would love some love.
Oh, absolutely. Mindy, you want to hit those up? And then I'll plug mine.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think we've hit some of them up, and some of them have likewise hit us up as well. In the beginning, we started out with Haunted Honeymooners, which is some really good friends of ours. They run a podcast for haunts and metal. And then we got Dirtbag Clothing, Explore Apparel, Maverick Apparel Company. Those are all clothing companies that have helped us out largely. I know that the guys just landed Scorpion. Yeah, with the Scorpion percussion. Jacob worked his ass off to get that. And then Josh just landed an endorsement with WB Gear, which holds, I think, 10 companies. And then Pig Hog
10 different things. It's Sid Strings, In-Tune Guitar Picks. I mean, there's a ton of different endorsements that you get with that, but I'm not really sure if you're actually endorsed by the company or just with Hoogie that runs the company that connects you with the discount for the gear. So you're not tied to any kind of contract. So like if I wanted to pick up, like a different string endorsement, like if I wanted to go with Ernie Ball or something later on, it would be an issue.
And we don't want to forget Alloy X. Alloy Radio has done a ton for us as well, so we don't want to forget them. And we actually have another
Let me give you
announcement coming up soon.
I got one too that I'm super proud of. Pig Hog Cables, man. I'm so happy about that. Because I mean, that's all I use anyway, man. I hate, the idea of trying to get a discount on some of this gear to try to save a little money. That way we've got more to put towards production and promotion and stuff like that. So we try to cut corners where we can, and I hate the idea of having to completely swap from a brand that I already know and mostly use and love and trust without a doubt. And Pig Hog, I mean, I discovered him like 6 months ago on Amazon and ordered a couple of their cables. Like I was scrolling through and I seen those. I was like, wow, those look pretty cool. I'll check them out. I ended up just replacing everything that I use with Pig Hog cables, and they're absolutely incredible. I've yet to have one fail, and they recently endorsed me, man. I'm so freaking proud of that. Golf clap, yeah. I'm happy about that.
That's how you know
something that I don't have to. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to swap brands for another endorsement. It's what I already use. It's what I already know, what I already love. Now, if I can just get ESP and Mesa on board, we'll be good.
I mean, that's how you know someone really loves what they're doing when they're passionate about the cables. Because people don't think about that. They only think about like the glamorous stuff, like the actual guitars themselves. But I mean, getting a cable endorsement is pretty killer because that's for good cables. It's not cheap, and I mean there is normal wear and tear on them. So that's pretty wild. Congratulations on that one.
And that's just one of the things, man. If you're playing a gig and you have a cable fail, I mean, the whole show is shot. I mean, it sucks.
True.
That is very true. So let's talk about what is on the horizon. Of course, we're nearing the end of 2020. We've got 2021 coming up. Obviously, everything's in flux with life, but what's going on in the world of Dying Oath? What can we look forward to from you guys?
Ready to get 2020 everywhere.
Yeah. We have another endorsement coming up. We're working on our latest single that we're going to release very soon, we hope. We just finished that in the studio, so it's going to go off to the producers, and we'll see what happens. Lots of shows.
Maybe
well,
have a music video with it.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It might.
When you guys are recording, where are you recording now? Are you guys going out to Bristol or? I'm just curious. I know you guys are down there in like rural retreat, correct?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I have a home studio set up. I pretty much just bring my rig. I've got a big flight case. It's got my interface and pretty much everything I need right there. And we'll just go up. I'll do some basic engineering. Just play some mics on the drums. If we're doing drums that day. Set up microphone stands, get the mics hooked up for vocals on a particular day, and we pretty much just record ourselves. As long as we get decent, please, decent source material, then usually we can send it off to a different producer and he can mix and master it for us. So I've tried, and we had a couple of my home produced things up on YouTube and stuff, and some people said they liked it a little bit better just because it's not perfect, it's more raw and shit. I tried keeping them both up just so that people could have that if they wanted it. But every time, radio station would play us or like online radio, they would pull off YouTube and they'd immediately pull one of those. And, I'd hear like my mix come up and I'm like, oh man, this is going out to like 10,000 people. It's like, not my mix. Come on. We paid all this money for this professional recording. There's my mix being put on. No. So we ended up taking that down. But yeah, man, we record ourselves and spin it off.
So you don't prefer your mix. You prefer for the one done by the engineer.
Yes.
It's anxiety.
I mean, I'm pretty self-aware, and I know my strengths and weaknesses. And mixing, I'm getting there. Okay, I'm decent, but I still have a little bit of trouble getting a little bit of mud out of the low end and stuff. And mastering is definitely not my gig. I could probably get a decent mix together, but I'd still have to send it off and get it mastered. I got some great mastering software. There's a pretty good learning curve. I mean, it's a completely different process from what I originally thought. So yeah, let's send it off.
And importantly, probably most so, where can they find Dying Oath on the web? Where can they interact with you guys?
Everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. Yeah, we're on pretty much most social medias. I mean, Some of us are on Snapchat. Of course, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. The whole nine.
And Spotify.
TikTok. Music. I mean, we've got music up on SoundCloud. We've got music on Reverb Nation. We've got music on Bandcamp. We've got two separate official pages. One of them is it's dyingoath.com, but I'm not the best web designer either. So we also have dyingoath at bamzookle.com. It's a lot easier to really put together what you need, for a decent web page. So dyingoath.bamzookle.com is you can go there, listen to music, read our full biography, tons of show photos, links to videos, all kinds of good stuff in there.
And we also have our own website, so check that out.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Dying Oath, give them some love, hit them up on all their social medias, and go ahead and listen. And if you happen to accidentally find a Josh mix, go ahead and send it my way, because I want to hear it. But thank you all for joining me so very much.
I'll send you one, man. You check it out.
All right. That's what I like to hear. This has been Dying Oath and BSing with Big Nate, episode 50 in the books. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great evening.
Bye, everybody. Thank
Hope
you
to be
for
on
having
the
us.
air soon. Yeah.